Hello everyone, welcome in Nature's Haven. Today the topic is moss terrarium ideas. Moss is a much-loved staple ingredient for closed terrariums. There's something about its bouncy, verdant nature that effortlessly gives texture and depth to any design. Whether it's to create an effect of rolling hills, dense jungle, or a wild grassland, there's a different kind of moss to suit each occasion, and we have our favorites. Now the Mossarium puts moss at the heart of a design, and with a little ingenuity and proper care, we can create something truly captivating. Today, I'll teach you how to make your own magnificent Mossarium. Moss doesn't get nearly the same amount of attention as your standard terrarium plants. Sure, moss is generally easy to care for and low maintenance, but shouldn't that be rewarded with a little extra love? So we're going to kick this thing off by looking at the kinds of terrarium mosses you can expect to find and use for your Mossarium. It's, of course, not an extensive list. There are around 12,000 species of moss after all, and many others would suit too. But it's a great starting point for some of the best and most available types. Asterisk also, avoiding preserved moss for your Mossarium project is advisable. It will likely contain dyes and chemicals that can leach and damage any living material. The term cushion moss is by far one of the most widely searched mosses on the internet. Though many types of moss are often conflated within this term, it generally refers to the species Leucobrium glaucum, most commonly found across North America and Europe. This shape makes it an infinitely popular choice for use in terrariums to create the effect of hillsides and shrubbery. This is the moss I see in the wild more than any other, found in Europe, Japan, and North America. Fern moss enjoys a more neutral pH environment. It typically grows up tree trunks, on rock surfaces, and along the forest floor. There are a few very similar mosses in the Thuidium classification, and they're easily mistaken for one another. It's a great choice of moss to create a miniature fern forest aesthetic, hence the common name fern moss. One of my personal favorites, mood moss, is another Acrocarpus moss, clumpy, and one of the more sought-after variants. Dacranum scoparium, also known as rock-cap moss, produces thick, wavy green tufts of up to 10 centimeters in height. Hypnum moss is incredibly common, though that doesn't mean it's not a valuable member of the moss community. Found in every continent except Antarctica, it grows within a wide variety of conditions. Be it on trees, deadwood, rock faces, or the soil, it's hard to miss. However, it does tend to prefer acidic soils, as most mosses do. I enjoy this moss not only for its vibrancy, but for the fact its fluffy bushiness can carpet a wide area without having to use too much. It's native to North America, but can be found across Europe also. This moss is widely available on the internet, and is often referred to as sheet moss or forest moss. I don't think it shines in a Mossarium compared to some of the other options above, but if you can get your hands on something high quality, it can create an organic feel to your design. Your choice of container will set the tone for your whole design. Because moss quickly dries out in an open environment, the first and only rule is that the glass container either needs a lid or a very narrow entry, so that humidity is easily retained. You want to start with a blank slate, so wash, rinse, and dry your container thoroughly before you begin. Getting a good terrarium substrate mix isn't nearly as important for moss as with other closed terrarium plants, as they enjoy remaining moist. Aeration and drainage aren't as imperative. Though if you really want to push the boat out, most mosses prefer acidic and dense, clay-based soil. I've always used moss inside my terrariums with various substrates, and the moss has never suffered as a result. Any decent tropical substrate mix will do the job nicely. I would recommend including some activated charcoal within your substrate to bind any harmful chemicals that may pass through the water. You don't need a ton of substrate to provide for your moss, simply enough to attach to. Now, hardscape is technically optional, but aesthetically I'd say it's essential. A visually complex piece of stone or driftwood can add some serious flavor to a Mossarium scene. Dragonstone is my go-to, but maple leaf stone and knife stone are fantastic too. From a design perspective, I like to place the largest elements at the back of the terrarium, with smaller pieces cascading into the foreground, allowing for maximum visibility within your design, but it's up to you. The more visually dynamic the hardscape, the better the view. Asterisk for a more advanced Mossarium setup. Why not consider using lava rock in tandem with an aquatic moss like Java moss? Moss terrariums are small, self-contained ecosystems that encapsulate the serene beauty of the forest floor in a glass container. These miniature landscapes have gained popularity as captivating and low-maintenance additions to home decor, offering a delightful way to bring a touch of nature indoors. Creating a moss terrarium, a step-by-step guide. Moss selection. The foundation of any moss terrarium is, of course, the moss itself. You can choose from a variety of moss species, each with its unique texture and color palette. Common choices include sheet moss, wood moss, and cushion moss. Select mosses that thrive in low light and high humidity conditions. Container choice. Moss terrariums can be housed in a wide range of glass containers, from open jars to sealed clutches. The choice of container impacts the terrarium's overall aesthetic, so pick one that suits your style. Just ensure it has a tight seal if you opt for a closed terrarium. Layers of the terrarium. Start with a base layer of small stones or pebbles to aid in drainage. Above this, add a layer of activated charcoal to keep the terrarium free of odors and harmful bacteria. Then, place a thin layer of sphagnum moss to separate the soil from the drainage layer. Soil preparation. Use a mixture of potting soil and perlite or sand to create a well-draining and aerated growing medium. Add this layer on top of the sphagnum moss, creating a suitable habitat for your moss's root systems. Moss arrangement. Gently transplant your selected mosses onto the prepared soil surface. Arrange them in patterns or let them grow naturally, depending on your artistic preference. Press the moss down gently to ensure good contact with the soil. Decorative elements. If desired, add decorative elements like small rocks, twigs, or miniature figurines to enhance the terrarium's visual appeal. These additions can complement the mosses and create a more enchanting scene. Light and water. Place your moss terrarium in indirect or filtered light, as direct sunlight can scorch the delicate mosses. Water your terrarium sparingly, as mosses prefer consistently moist conditions, but should not be waterlogged. A spray bottle is an excellent way to provide moisture without overdoing it. Maintenance and care. Moss terrariums are relatively low maintenance, but they do require some attention to thrive. Watering. Keep an eye on the moisture levels within your terrarium. If you notice condensation building up, it's a sign that the terrarium is adequately sealed and retains moisture. If not, mist the mosses lightly with a spray bottle to maintain humidity. Pruning. Trim any overgrown or yellowing moss to encourage healthy growth and maintain the terrarium's aesthetics. Cleaning. Over time, the glass container may develop mineral deposits or algae growth. You can clean the glass with a mixture of water and a little white vinegar, being careful not to disturb the moss. Benefits of moss terrariums. Stress reduction. Moss terrariums offer a calming and tranquil atmosphere, making them excellent additions to workspaces or areas where relaxation is essential. Air purification. Mosses naturally filter the air, absorbing pollutants and providing cleaner indoor air. Aesthetic appeal. These miniature landscapes can serve as captivating conversation pieces and unique home decor. Low maintenance. Moss terrariums require minimal care compared to other houseplants, making them ideal for those with busy lifestyles. In conclusion, moss terrariums offer a beautiful and captivating way to bring a piece of nature into your living space. Whether you're a seasoned terrarium enthusiast or a beginner, creating and nurturing these miniature ecosystems can be a rewarding and enjoyable hobby. With proper care, your moss terrarium will flourish and continue to enchant you with its serene and timeless beauty. Moss terrariums are captivating miniature ecosystems that bring a touch of nature's enchantment into your home. These self-contained worlds offer a unique opportunity to observe the beauty of moss up close, while providing a low-maintenance and aesthetically pleasing addition to your living space. In this guide, we will dive into the art and science of moss terrariums, exploring everything from selecting the right moss to building and maintaining your own self-sustaining oasis. Chapter 1. The Fascinating World of Moss. Section 1.1. What is moss? Introduction to moss. A simple yet ancient plant. Diversity of moss species. Exploring various types of moss suitable for terrariums. Ecological importance. Moss's role in nature and its adaptability. Section 1.2. Why choose moss for terrariums? Unique aesthetics. The lush green beauty of moss. Low maintenance. The appeal of self-contained ecosystems. Environmental benefits. Moss terrariums as miniature air purifiers. Chapter 2. Building your moss terrarium. Section 2.1. Materials and containers.